Good, YouTube? Back at it out here. I know it's been a little bit of a second since I've done a car review, so I figured I'd do one review real quick on this Jeep Compass. Thinking about getting some of these to update those high mileage caravans and update the business fleet. And as you can see, there's Demon Durango. Give you guys a little perspective view of the two vehicles side by side. Yeah, man, I was really surprised at these Jeep Compasses. They go for around $27,000. You could probably get an average lease for about $3,000 down and $239 a month. And yeah, this car's got a lot of little things about it that I think may interest people, especially if you've had an older Jeep Compass or you've had interaction with some of the older Jeep Compasses. They are very, let's just say, not up to par as far as the standard of other cars nowadays and the amenities inside. Well, in 2018, Jeep addressed this with this redesign, and if you look, it's even got a little bit of that front aggressive Jeep front end, which really looks nice. Look, he's no side profile of the Demon Durango sitting here pretty. She's all shiny. But the real talk today is about this Jeep Compass, right? So one of the good things is you'll recognize this key. Very similar to the Durango key. You have your tailgate, your unlock, and your auto start. Let's get a cold start on the Compass. Yeah, V8 it's not. It's definitely not a V8, that's for sure. So one of the things about this Compass is it's a 4-cylinder turbo motor. So it's not a what you would normally expect to find in an off-road or four-wheel drive vehicle that comes from Jeep. Instead, it's more of an on-road daily driver, and I would say it's probably a great car for like areas where it's very cold and snows a lot, and you're maybe a person that doesn't necessarily want a big SUV, doesn't even need a big SUV. You just need basic transportation, but four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive is a large necessity. That's where this Compass comes inside. You'll find the same Uconnect system that's in all of FCA's vehicles. One thing I do give FCA kudos to is if you're not familiar with their touchscreen stuff, they have a lot of redundancy buttons. You'll notice that some companies are starting to do away with redundancy buttons, and they're just keeping everything on screen. The reason why redundancy buttons are good is because if you're in the vehicle and you're on the fly, it's very easy to touch the volume button and shut it down. It's very easy to shut the volume down, use any of the HVAC controls without being distracted and having to look at the screen and see exactly what you're doing. So kudos to FCA for keeping safety paramount over technology. We use a lot of technology in cars nowadays. I don't think a lot of people use the technology the way they should, and it makes it unsafe. If you use the technology the way it should be used and you use it as the purpose it was intended for, then it's meant to keep your eyes on the road and allow you to use the functions of the vehicle intuitively, inanely, so that you don't have to your eyes don't have to leave the road. And this Compass has a lot of that. So if you have a young driver in your household and you're not ready to give them a V6 or a V8 powered SUV, but you live somewhere where there is bad weather all the time and you need some ground clearance, even just flooding, it doesn't have to be snow, you just need some ground clearance off the car. You don't need a little regular car. You look in here, this Compass has a lot of space behind me. So you could actually probably move a one-bedroom apartment with this little vehicle. Again, making it a long-term vehicle that somebody could lease and then eventually buy afterwards because of its utilitarian. Here on the gauge cluster, this current vehicle has 11,000 miles on it. It is a 2018, so it's about a year old now. We're going into 2019. I love the fact that you still get the Durango steering wheel and the Cherokee steering wheel. I mean, this is something FCA is doing that's smart. They're taking their quality products and it's trickling down to their entry-level products in the market. So that's a great thing. What a lot of people are starting to disagree with is that they're bringing too much of the upper end stuff down to the lower end vehicles, making it less desirable for you to purchase the higher end vehicle. I don't know. I think it's just a matter of opinions. I think it's a great thing that they're sharing all this stuff with all their vehicles because it's making American cars really worth purchasing, and it's giving the foreign cars a run for their money. Now you take a look, just for example, on this interior. It's a leatherette kind of interior, and it's a kind of cloth in the middle, but they, you know, they jazzed it up. It looks nice. The stitching looks the part, and even though it's not full on perfect leather or any of that stuff, it's still very nice material, and it looks very easy to clean and maintain. Now, this vehicle's a year old and it has 11,000 miles, and it's held up to the wear. The dashboard, even just like the handles. And then you get back to my favorite thing, guys. You know how I feel about door panels. Door panels are what makes a car, you know what I mean? You got this nice stitching all around. Car is awesome. Sound system is good, something you would find on pretty much all Chrysler vehicles. It's not the Beat sound system, but it's good. Let's move to the trunk. Here's a nice feature. Your trunk button right here. Tailgate lets you know it's opening. You can go to the back of the vehicle, or somebody else could be back there. And now here's where the ride home is. You've got a tremendous amount of space back here, guys. You've got a large loading floor. You also have a compartment underneath, which you could store other stuff. This is where the spare tire would probably go, so on and so forth. This vehicle, I think, has run flats, so it has that air compressor, which, by the way, again, very nice touch, Mopar. Look at that. Nice air compressor kit. I mean, you start to pay a certain amount of money, they even give you a screwdriver. I don't know what that's for, but that screwdriver probably fits most of the screws in this car. So again, they're giving you a lot for a $27,000 entry point, or $239 a month. You know, this is a very capable vehicle, and you're getting a lot of amenities and a lot of luxuries that you wouldn't get normally in a lot of other vehicles. Now, this is another thing I give kudos to FCA. This button on the inside panel. You don't have to go and reach all the way up there to hit the button. You reach right down here like a human being, you push the button. The only thing I would say is you should make it on both sides. You should put this button on both sides. It's a piece of wire and a relay. It's not a big cost. And if they put that button on the other side, that would make closing that gate easy from either side of the vehicle. So the final thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is this locking differential. I'm not even going to get into the motor, because the motor is what it is. It's a 4-cylinder turbo. It gets about 8 or 9 miles to the, you know, it's, what is it? Is it? No. I think it's a 4-cylinder. You're probably getting about, real talk, city driving, you're probably getting about 13, 14 miles to the gallon, because the car is very heavy. Not because the vehicle has a lot of power and all this other stuff, but because the vehicle is heavy, and they may want to think about maybe slotting in that 3.6 V6 in this as just an option. You know, make it a $30,000 Compass with the V6 in it, not for it to be lightning fast, but just for it to have enough giddy up. You know, it feels a little tired, but if you're not a person that worries too much about speed, you won't feel that. So here's your automatic 4-wheel drive locking differential. You have auto, snow, sand, mud, which is dope in a little car like this to have that kind of potential. Not that you're going to go off-roading, but, you know, we all know weather's getting worse and things are getting harder to get around it. You have your, this is very BMW-ish e-brake. You have the auto on-off, so this car will shut off and turn on the lights. And you have your traction control, which, again, the layout is very nice, very sensible, so on and so forth. So, yeah, Demon D. If you're out in the market and you're thinking about getting a Jeep Compass, you know, I would say look at the 2018, 2019 Jeep Compasses. They have a $239 a month lease right now with about, you know, $3,000 out of pocket. The normal lease stuff. If you're probably looking no money down, you're probably closer to about $400 a month, but that's no money down. You're not putting any money down. Maybe you'll just pay for your license plates and so on and so forth and walk out the dealer, and you'll be paying about $400 a month for this little SUV with nothing down, or $239 a month with about $3,000. And it's all obviously depending on your credit, so on and so forth. But if you're in the market for one of these little SUVs, I would say definitely pull the trigger. I was shocked to see that Jeep gives this much quality and quantity in such a little vehicle, you know. You got the push to start. You got all the things that all these larger priced Jeeps and FCA products have in this $27,000 economical package. For about $2,000 more than what I paid for my Accord, you can have this SUV, which is 4-wheel drive, locking differential, plenty of storage space. And I don't know about the reliability of them, but I do know that they've been making this 4-cylinder turbo motor for a minute, and it is in the Ram Pro work vans. And a couple of guys that I speak to, they say it's freaking, they love it. It's you know, they beat the daylights out of it. One guy's got about 150,000 miles that I spoke to out of it, and he hasn't had any major issues. So, I mean, everybody's experience is going to be somewhat different, but the consensus seems to be that they're not total crap. So hope this helps. And stay blessed, stay kind, everybody. I'm gonna try to keep coming with some more videos. Got a lot of great things going on, a lot of blessings. He who is blessed with many blessings is also blessed with a lot of responsibility. So that's where we at now. But I'm gonna try to keep bringing these videos. Stay up, everybody. I hope you all are staying kind to one another. I hope you all are staying healthy, and I hope you all are staying blessed. Stay up, y'all.